Fire US Open Showdown, Raducanu vs Sabalenka and Alcaraz vs Sinner. Epic draw and results breakdown. 2025 US Open Saga, Raducanu and Sabalenka, and the Alcaraz vs Sinner clash. Some truth, some poetry, all fire. Prologue, the flashes of promise and pressure. Tennis is a game of moments, seconds that define careers, swings of momentum that echo for years. In 2025, the US Open became once again a stage where youth, expectations, redemption, rivalry, and legacy all collided. Two stories stood especially tall. Raducanu vs Aryna Sabalenka, not a final, but a clash of past and present, of underdogs and champions. Carlos Alcaraz vs Jannik Sinner, a defining final, arguably the portrait of men's tennis today, where talent meets tenacity. Part 1, Raducanu and Sabalenka, the emotional undercard. The setup. Raducanu's 2021 US Open win stunned the world. She emerged from qualifier rounds, battling not just opponents, but expectations. But since then, consistency, health, pressure, all these weighed heavy. Sabalenka, by contrast, has been a force, powerful serve, aggressive baseline, mental grit, and a champion who knows the lights. When Raducanu secured her first-round win at the 2025 US Open, her first match victory on Flushing Meadows since her title in 2021, there was more than relief. There was something hopeful in her stride. Sabalenka, defending champion, also showed dominion early, beating Rebecca Mazurova 7-5, 6-1 in round 1 after a tight first set. The showdown outside the final. Though Raducanu and Sabalenka didn't meet deep in the US Open itself in 2025, their rivalry had been building in other arenas. At the Cincinnati Open a few weeks prior, Raducanu pushed Sabalenka to her limits in a 3-hour, 3-set thriller, 7-6, 3, 4-6, 7-6, 5. Raducanu saved breakpoints, survived a marathon 23-minute game, battled physically and mentally. It was the kind of match that reminds everyone, she is back. She is dangerous. That match was not just a contest, it was foreshadowing. For Raducanu, it was about reclaiming confidence. For Sabalenka, it was about defending her supremacy under threat. Reflection. Raducanu's arc is powerful, from meteoric rise, then struggle with injuries, expectations, form, and then those glimpses of brilliance returning. Sabalenka remains one of the hardest hitters in the women's game. She embodies what it takes to be defending champion, to carry weight, crowd burdens, pressure. While they didn't face off in the tournament's latter stages in 2025, at least not according to current documented draws or results, the psychological combat was already happening. In practice, in expectations, in every tight game. Part 2, Alcaraz vs Sinner, the duel for supremacy. Building the rivalry. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner have, over the past year or more, emerged not just as top players, but as icons in formation. Their matches, intense, varied, dramatic. Grand Slam finals seem to be becoming their regular meeting ground. Each match teaches, exposes a weakness, shows evolution. Heading into the US Open of 2025, Sinner was the defending champion. Alcaraz held flashes of brilliance, occasional lapses. The eyes of the tennis world were on them. The final, what actually happened? On September 7, 2025, at Arthur Ashe Stadium, Alcaraz defeated Sinner 6-2, 3-6, 6-1, 6-4 to win the men's singles title. Crucially, this was his second US Open title, recall his earlier win in 2022, and 6th Grand Slam overall. He reclaimed the world #1 ranking with this victory. It also continued their pattern. This was their third straight major final matchup in 2025, French Open, Wimbledon, now US Open. Dynamics of the match. Alcaraz came out firing in the first set, breaking Sinner's rhythm, using his forehand and creativity to keep up pressure. Sinner answered in the second set, adapting, able to break back, slow Alcaraz's momentum. But then Alcaraz reasserted, dominating the third set 6-1, showing that when he's dialed in, he can shift the pace, use variety, and punish any hesitation. The fourth was a test. Sinner tried to rally, but Alcaraz closed it out. The match had psychological weight, not just a trophy, but ranking, legacy. Sinner's crown was slipping, Alcaraz wanted to show that he's not just a brilliant flash, but a consistent force. And by doing this in 4 sets, with only one slip, the second set, Alcaraz reinforced the sense that is growing stronger, more complete. Aftermath and significance. Alcaraz is when underscores a shift. He has now won on all 3 surfaces, clay, grass, hard, multiple times. He is one of the youngest to do so at this level. Sinner, while the runner-up, still has to grapple with the mental barrier. Alcaraz seems to have found another gear in big matches. For Sinner, this loss is painful, but they are forging one of the great rivalries in modern tennis, and rivalry sharpens both. The viewership numbers reflect that people care. The final drew some of the biggest audiences in years. Alcaraz Sinner is must-watch content. Part 3. Themes, patterns, what it means beyond the score. 1. Transition of power and consistency. The era of next generation is not coming. It is here. Alcaraz and Sinner are not apprentice. They are worthy heirs to the demands of the modern game. For Alcaraz, these Grand Slams now are markers not of potential, but of established excellence. 2. Mental fortitude under the microscope. Tennis at the elite level is physical, yes, but even more, it's mental. Alcaraz peels back errors, watches his opponent, adjusts. Sinner has to learn to quiet the self-criticism. Raducanu has repeatedly shown that while talent can burst in, staying up demands resilience, belief. Sabalenka has proven she can take the pressure of being the favorite, but every match is a test. 3. Spectacle and storytelling. Remember, people come for drama. Raducanu's 2021 run, her return, her tight matches, Sabalenka defending under weight of expectations, Alcaraz versus Sinner finals, especially their Grand Slam rematches. These stories keep tennis alive in the public imagination. Their matches are about more than winners and losers, about redemption, rivalry, possibility. 4. The grid, draws, seedings, expectations. The structure of the draws matters. Who is in which half? Who gets tested earlier? Who has rest? Who plays tight matches? All that feeds into momentum. Alcaraz managed his path well, Sinner similarly. For Raducanu, every match early on is a chance to build confidence. Sabalenka's early matches, first round, etc., showed she can be challenged but she can respond. Epilogue, what to watch going forward. Will Raducanu translate these flashes back into deep runs in majors? She has now shown she can battle at the top level. Next is sustaining it. Sabalenka. Can she evolve? Handle the wear and tear of being chased, targeted, expected to win? Alcaraz versus Sinner. This rivalry has a lot of mileage left. How does each respond from defeat? Sinner will want adjustments. Alcaraz will want to refine and stay ahead. How will the mental game, injuries, off-court life, coaching changes, etc. affect them? Because at this level, margins are tiny. Final word, the fire that carries on. In 2025's US Open, we didn't just see matches. We saw drifted stories converge. Raducanu, the past champion, trying to reclaim momentum, to remind everyone and herself that she belongs. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.